These crows are going absolutely crazy. Someone was just yelling, so I'm gonna try to get moving here. Alright, we're back in like a swamp, cedar area. Pretty fresh shrub right here. See the trail going into all the cattails and stuff. But that one looks like it was rubbed. Man, how high is it? About knee height. I don't know, probably 2-year-old. This is the type of terrain I'm working with here. Found that rub over there. I just walked across this. Got a bunch of water in there. It's pretty deep actually. I got soaked. But just walking the edges. I'm looking for rubs or something. These beavers have been going crazy in here. Look at this. They're getting big trees down. There's a ton everywhere. Right there, right there. It's crazy. Look at this. These beavers are just going crazy. It's really a nice area in here though. The beaver's now going after this big tree. That's crazy. Got a little sunk. Found another rub here. Right off the logging trail. I don't know if it's bear. That looks like a pretty good one. Looks older. That's a pretty decent one. This looks like a little scrape. There's nothing on the ground, but it's also June. All these are a bit off. It's on the bed. We were just over there. Now we're coming in. There's a pond, like right there. I want to get over there. But looks like some good bedding stuff in here. Especially this time of year, early season. It's hard to walk through this stuff. It's really like bumpy. That or not. It looks like a bed. The ground's indented. This looks like a little cave. Probably a bed in there. Yeah, good spot. Well, just found an arrow. Doesn't look all that old. It looks like last year almost. There's no broadhead or anything. It's actually broken, I can hear it. Well, I'm gonna keep going that way, but it kind of sucks. We're on the island. It's really wet down in there. And here's that pond. And pretty sure I found where the beaver's coming. Immediately found this historical rub right there. Let's see a fresher one up here. Right there. Found little trees, but that's waist height. It's a nice bed right here. Old historical rub right here. Might be one right there too. A lot more sign on this island than anywhere else. Just wait until I see a tree standing here. Pretty crazy. That damn beaver. Look at the rub right there. That one too. I can't go any further. We're on the edge of the property. But, I mean, it's really thick in here. I don't even know how a buck would walk through this. Like, look at this stuff. Buck ain't getting, I'm on my hands and knees getting through this. Ain't no buck getting through this. Not with a big rack. I think that he'd wanna I can't go that way because it's the edge. I can't go this way. I can go this way. There's the pond, and I can go straight back. I can't really go any direction here. So I guess we're gonna backtrack. I'm gonna look at my map and see where else I can go. We're back on the other island. There's another little rub right here. Big hole. But this island has the most rubs that I've seen on the whole property. So I think I'm gonna try to find where these things are coming from, the beds. Which we found beds over here on the side of the island though. So I might have to hunt back on the mainland. I was leaning up against that tree right there, emptying out my boots for the 4th time today. I looked over and I saw that historical rub. That historical rub right there. That looks like it was scratched up. There's a lot of rubs on this island. The mainland's right there. I mean, there's like water and shit down in there. I think they bed. There's some oaks further back. It's kind of a ridge. I don't even know if that's a property, actually. I gotta look at my map real quick. Yeah, that's the very edge of the property. We can't go that way. We can go that way and that way. I'm gonna investigate down in here. Because there's a lot of rubs on this island. Found another historical. And all these rubs are facing in on the island. So it's not like they're coming from in there and rubbing up and then coming on the island. They're in here. I'm thinking they bed on here, on this island. There's no oaks. There's one oak over there. It's pretty big. There's not really any oaks on this island. The beaver was eating oak over there. There's some tracks in here. Found myself a nice little spot. But I think they're in here on like late September, early October when the oaks start falling. If it's an oak year. Those rubs look like they're like oak year rubs. Like they're not gonna be in here unless it's an oak year. There's a big oak tree over there that looked like it fell last year. So this is definitely a spot worth hunting though. Worth checking out a couple times. There's some fields around here I could glass, but it's like 8 in the morning. I got here. Nah, it's probably like 10 now, but I got here at like 6. So I don't think they're gonna be in the fields right now, but I'm thinking that these blocks, they bed back here and they go that way, which is the mainland with the oaks. And I found rubs. That rub I filmed, all those licking branches, and that there's a little rub, and then there was a scrape. It's all that way. So, I'm thinking early October. Little red squirrel. What's he doing? Oh, they rubs. That one's real low. There's a lot of rubs in this little patch of woods. A lot of broken shit too. Hard to be sneaky in here. I'm in some like really weird stuff. This tree's cut. Yeah, it's 100% cut right there. I don't know. That's really weird. Nice bed right here. The creek on both sides, and behind him's the pond. A good spot to be. These tracks. I'm trying to find a tree to hunt. I found a rub right here. You can see all this. There's a wood duck in there. But that's a trail. Thinking up in there somewhere. because of that island I just hunted is straight past all that stuff. That could be bedding too. Bed out on that little point. Like I can see all this. There's more thick stuff over there. That's the other side of the swamp. I want to look down on this point back here. See what's happening. There's a tripod stand over there. You can kind of see it. Right there. That looks like an old gun hunting stand. That would like bow hunt. All these tadpoles right in here. Pretty cool. At least I think they're tadpoles. Yeah, they are. You can see their legs starting to grow. It's pretty cool. Whole bunch of frogs. Trying to see if I can see any rubs in here. Any of this stuff. Looks like the trail kind of goes in there. Found some fresh deer tracks. A lot of trails through here. These are for sure deer trails, you can tell. They had some poop right there too. I'm sure they're probably bedding in here. There's a bed right there. A big deer track right there. I wonder if they swim across this. Oh, there goes the Woody. There's a beaver hut right there. That's funny. Oh, looks like a deer track though. I mean, it's coming from the water. Unless it's going down there to drink. If it makes sense. Oh, there's a bed right there. Right in there. Yeah, that's like a cave. Back there, there's one. Looks like there's one right there, back there. Doesn't look like any rubs. Mosquito. Let's be doe bedding. Some poop. Another wood duck. Right here. It's an old historical rub right here. Another historical. Right under where I want to hunt. Dang, get right up in there. Yeah, that looks good. Although I won't really have a shot. Get those leaves on. Once I get like right there, but I still won't be able to shoot down. Looking for a tree. That looks like some scarring. That's like hip. That's like waist level actually. That one maybe too. Thinking I'm gonna get up in one of these pine trees. I'll be way higher than these deer. But again, I won't be able to like shoot down in there. What if I can get over here? Right up in there, maybe. I don't think that would be bad. That tree. Horseflies all over me. I think that tree will be good. I like that one too. Once the leaves come off. That one. That one. That one. Yeah, trail. There's a trail. There's trails all in there and stuff. I can see that way if I'm in that one. I like that one the most. Found another historical rub. Kind of in this funnel. It's really small because we're not really in hill country, but definitely a funnel. A deer track right there, and it's kind of messed up right there. A little far for a scrape, you'd think, but it's not a trail. Another little section, but I like down there a lot. I'm following the swamp, kind of. I'm just seeing if any trails come out, like big buck-looking trails. Here's a real low one. Another historical right here. A bunch of these trees are out there. They've been rubbed in the past. Leads down into more of that thick stuff. Jawbone. Well, we know there's a deer here. There was. Nice rub right there. Leading out of bedding in this trail. Follow that trail in here. Let's take a look. There's some thick stuff down here. I bumped that deer up back here. I was coming from this stuff. This is kind of where the swamps like meet. The two sides of the swamps, they come together. Right here in this creek is what makes it all a swamp. There's Beaver made a bridge for me. See if she's stable. Roots are full of water. Oh yeah, she's stable. Thanks, Beaver. Big deer trail. Right to the old gravel road. I think we found a pretty decent spot to hunt. I mean, yeah. Now we got to think of a plan how to get in there. What winds? I think I want the wind blowing towards the road. Wasn't a whole lot of sign coming this way, so I'm gonna have the wind coming like this. It has to be cold, a pretty heavy one for me to be able to get in there. But I gotta empty up my boots again for the 5th time. I left the original spot. I'm on the same property, but I'm a little down the road. Old historical road here. It's like the same system. It's the same swamp. So that's the swamp right there. It's a lot more open on this side. That was a nice rub too. Another one right there. It's broken off. Didn't fall off yet. That must be last year. See all the scar in there. It's pretty low. Knee height. Already seen 2 rubs in there. There's a rub right there and right there. Right there. Look at that. This one is pretty good over here. Not gonna lie. There's some real big oaks in here. All these are nice oaks. Look at the ground. A whole bunch of acorns. So, a lot of my binos on me, of course. I left in my car. Can't really see if there's anything up there. While using a detective mind, getting bugs in my eyes, jeez. 1. Oh, look at this. Hard antlered. 2 acorns. Put 1 and 2 together. What do you think? They gotta be hard antlered. So September 1, 2, 3, 4. Acorns gotta be dropping. October 1, 2, 3, 4. Or around that time. I found a really nice rub over here. I was just talking about that stuff. Found the rub right there. This is looking like a good spot in here. I'm getting excited about this one. It's a lot more condensed sign, and there's acorns everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. Another rub right next to that one. That's torn up. Got some scarring. Right in there. Nothing's growing there. That's broken. That's a scrape. Another old historical thing. Here's a scrape. See how that's orange and stuff? There's poop all over that thing. That one's a good one right there. Old rub right there. Another scrape. Rub on that tree. These are all oaks. That's a good one. These are all big oak trees. I think I'm really getting onto something here. A rub there. Old rub right there. These are the red oak leaves I was talking about. See, they got the points. Here's an old logging road. It's really old. You can barely even tell it's a road. Only way I know is because of these tracks. They got the 2 tracks. And it looks like it went around that way. But man, there's a lot of oak trees in here. So I'm back by that scrape. There's rubs everywhere in here. We found some rubs back there. Turkey feather. Put this in my hat. Got turkey feather. Yeah, there's that nice one right there. Probably a rub or a scrape right there. There's that fresh one. That's an acorn. So that scrape is where that orange on that pine tree is right there. There's that. Another orange pine tree. I'm gonna look for more orange pine trees. Over here is where the oaks kind of stop. That's a maple tree. That's a maple tree. There's a bunch of maple trees. They're all big. Bunch of pine trees. Another maple. Actually, those 2 are oaks. There's oaks everywhere in here. So, orange pine tree, rub. Orange pine tree, scrape. I could shoot both of those from that one right there. Get up in that. It's thick stuff. Which is weird. I would think that it would be more heavy in there. Here's a trail. It's hard to see trails. Old rub right here. I followed that orange tape. It looked like it was leading here. I didn't really see anything yet, but I've seen other orange tape like that on this property, and I followed, and there's a ladder stand there, and they look really old. Like the seats on them are like torn open and they're falling apart. But I don't know where this one is. Followed the trail back. It's kind of points. This is where the kind of swampy stuff begins. It's also over here. There's probably gonna be some sign on this last little piece. Some more oaks up here. Following this tape for a while. I'm curious. Look at that. Let's check this thing out. That is crazy. I hope you don't even want to go in this thing. Big ass bear's gonna be in here. Whole bunch of shit. That's pretty crazy. Oh. Doesn't look like anyone used that in a while. I don't know where you're shooting, but... Well, I think we came out of there with 2 really good spots to hunt. And honestly, like 3 or 4. That oak flat that we just looked at, that trend continues along the whole swamp. All those oaks. And The rubs are really concentrated in that one area, but there is sign elsewhere. I think I'm gonna hit that oak flat right away. Probably hunt that first, then I'll hunt the spot. It'll be first scouted. Probably second. I'll hit them back-to-back days. But that oak flat looks really promising. I think we can pull one out of there. Almost dropped my phone.